Hello there, my name is Richard McMunn from the interview training website, passmyinterview.com, and in this training video, I will teach you how to pass your first ever leadership or management job interview. If you are applying to become a leader or manager and you have no previous experience, make sure you stay tuned because the tips, questions and sample answers I am about to give you will help you pass your interview at the first attempt. And to achieve that goal, I will cover the following 4 things in this training video. Number 1, I will tell you which questions you should prepare for before your first ever leadership job interview. Number 2, I will then give you 2 very important tips for answering each leadership interview question confidently and correctly. Number 3, I will then give you a brilliant example answer to each question that is perfect for first-time leadership interviews. And then finally, number 4, I will tell you where you can instantly download my 21 brilliant answers to first-time leader interview questions. And just very quickly, if you are new to my YouTube channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thousands of you are passing your job interviews at the first attempt. I have more than 30 years experience as a leader and manager, both in the fire service and running my own business. I can only help you if you are subscribed, and please hit the like button because that really does energize and motivate me to create more great content for you. Thank you very much indeed. So the first question you must prepare for if this is your first ever leadership or management interview is, tell me about yourself. Here are 2 important tips before I give you my top scoring example answer. Tip number 1, please make sure you practice your answer several times to this first leader interview question to demonstrate confidence and strong communication skills. The company will want to be sure that you have the confidence to lead a team and good communication skills to get your message across to your team members. And they will assess these skills when you answer the interview questions. And tip number 2, in your answer, I recommend you talk about your skills and strengths that make you an effective leader, what you have been doing to prepare for your first ever leadership position, and any leadership experience you have gained. So here is my brilliant top scoring example answer to help you pass your first ever leadership or management interview. Tell me about yourself. Here we go. Thank you for this opportunity. I am a confident, decisive, commercially focused and strategic thinking leader with the strengths and qualities to achieve success in this position. To prepare for this role, I have observed managers and leaders to understand how to lead a team, and I have developed core skills including communication, problem solving, delegation and coaching. I have experience leading projects, and in my current position, my manager praised me for my responsiveness and how I helped train new team members to quickly achieve competence. If you hire me in this leadership role, I will support the company in its commercial and financial objectives, ensure my team operate at maximum capacity, and continue to develop my leadership skills. And I look forward to sharing additional details in the interview regarding my suitability for this position and how I can help the business become the market leader. That is a brilliant, confident answer to that first leadership interview question. Tell me about yourself. Now you can either pause the video if you want to and write down the questions and answers as we work through them together, or if you wait, I will soon tell you where you can download instantly my full set of 21 brilliant answers to first-time leader interview questions. Here is the next question I strongly recommend you prepare for, and that question is, why do you want to be a leader? Tip number 1. Now, this next common leadership interview question is assessing your motivations for wanting to become a leader. Being a leader is not for everyone, and it takes a unique set of skills and attributes to succeed. And tip number 2, good things to include in your answer are the responsibility that comes with being a leader, how being a leader is the next step of your career development, and how you will thrive mentoring people to reach their full potential. So here is another top scoring example answer to help you pass your first ever leadership or management interview. Why do you want to be a leader? Here we go. I want to be a leader because I will thrive on the position's responsibility. In recent years, when problems arose at work, I always wanted to take ownership of the situation, and my passion for coaching others means that I have the skills needed to get the most out of a team. I also want to be a leader because it is the next step in my career development. I am passionate about self-development, and having read leadership books by successful leaders including Sir Alex Ferguson and Simon Sinek, I am confident I am ready to rise to the challenge. So that is another confident answer that will help you impress at your first ever leadership or management interview. Now, don't go anywhere because I still have many more questions, tips and answers to give you, but when you are ready, you can click the link in the top right hand corner of the video, head straight through to my website, passmyinterview.com, and you can instantly download my full set of 21 first-time leader interview questions and top scoring example answers. But here is the next question I strongly advise you prepare for. Describe your leadership style. This is a really difficult question to answer. Tip number 1. So this question will come up at your first ever leadership or management job interview. The question is being asked to determine if your leadership style matches the culture of the organization. Tip number 2, examples of leadership styles include autocratic, where you tell everyone in your team what they must do; delegative, where you delegate tasks and then empower team members to achieve their objectives; coaching and transformational leadership style; and laissez-faire. A laissez-faire is a very laid-back leadership style. It's certainly one that I would not recommend using in the majority of organizations. So let's put all of that together in my brilliant example answer to this difficult first-time leadership and management interview question. Describe your leadership style. Here we go. My leadership style is a combination of autocratic, transformational, and delegative. When urgent, time-sensitive situations occur, I will direct my team on what needs to be done and by when. My transformational leadership style empowers me to support my employer in any changes they want to implement. I will always encourage my team to embrace new initiatives to ensure the business stays one step ahead of its competitors. Finally, my delegation leadership style means I will always allocate tasks to team members on their strengths and give them the autonomy to complete their work as required. Now, that is a really smart and clever answer to give because you are saying you use a different leadership style depending on the situation you are faced with. It's a really good answer. Here is the next question that I strongly recommend you prepare for. That question is, what are the essential skills and qualities required to become a leader? Tip number 1. Now, this next common leadership interview question is being asked because the hiring manager wants to make sure you know what you must do in the role to be successful. Tip number 2, in your answer, be sure to include emotional intelligence, strong communication and listening skills, planning and organizing capabilities, and delegation and problem-solving skills. So here is another brilliant top scoring answer to help you pass your first ever leadership or management interview. What are the essential skills and qualities required to become a leader? Here we go. To be a competent leader, you must have good communication skills, both written and verbal. Project briefs must be clear and concise, And you need excellent listening skills to understand your team's challenges and needs. You need emotional intelligence, good interpersonal skills to get the most from your team, and outstanding organising and planning skills to achieve your objectives. Other essential skills and qualities needed to be an effective leader include decision making, problem solving, delegation, and coaching. As a leader, I will be responsible for facilitating effective training to ensure each team member works at full capacity. Finally, you must think strategically and holistically to see the bigger picture, not be afraid to make tough decisions that might be unpopular, be fair and consistent, and set a good example to others. So you can see how giving that type of answer at your first ever leadership or management job interview will help you get hired. It demonstrates confidence in the job description. You know exactly what to do to achieve leadership success. It's a great answer. Here is the next question that comes up all the time during first ever leadership and management interviews. And that question is, how do you manage a team? Tip number 1. Now, although this job will be your first leadership position, the company will want to hear how you intend managing a team of people. So it's important you have a strong and confident answer prepared. Tip number 2, in your answer, include conducting performance reviews, keeping open the lines of communication, and giving constructive feedback to help your team improve. Here is another brilliant example, top scoring answer to help you pass your interview. How do you manage a team? When managing a team, I concentrate on several key areas to succeed. I conduct performance reviews to learn my team's strengths and weaknesses. Performance reviews empower me to delegate effectively, provide suitable training, and remind each team member of their responsibilities and the importance of our core team values. I keep communication channels open, explain the team's short, medium, and long-term goals, and encourage close collaboration. I maintain consistency and treat everyone fairly and allow everyone to get involved while listening to my team's ideas. I lead by example, praise good work, provide constructive feedback, and encourage honesty in my team so lessons can be learned if mistakes are made. I love that answer. That is a brilliant example answer for someone like you who is applying for their first ever leadership or management position. Here is the next question. Now, this is a really difficult one. It requires a confident answer. The question is, what will you do in the first 30 days of commencing work in this leadership position? Wow, this is a tough question. Get it wrong and you will not pass the interview. Tip number 1. So this next common but difficult leadership interview question needs a decisive answer. It is assessing whether you have a plan for leading and managing your team. Tip number 2. In your answer, be sure to mention meeting the senior management team to establish your brief, observing your team for a 1-week period, and then holding a team meeting to define your team's values and work plan. So here is another brilliant example answer to help you pass your first ever leadership or management job interview. What will you do in the first 30 days of commencing work in this leadership position? In the first 30 days, I will meet the senior management team to ascertain the company's objectives and to determine my goals and immediate challenges. Next, I will introduce myself to my team and tell them I will observe their work performance for a 1-week period. During the 1-week observation period, I will note their work ethic, strengths, and areas for improvement. After the initial observation period has ended, I will hold a team meeting to outline my values and expectations of the team, praise the good work I have seen, and give direction on how they can improve before setting objectives for the team to work toward. Finally, in the first 30 days, I will hold performance reviews with all staff members individually to determine their career aspirations, establish their training needs, and define objectives for the next 6 months. That is a brilliant answer. Now, before I come on to the next question, if you want to download my ready-made 30-day, 60-day, and 90-day plans for managers and leaders that you can use at the interview and also when you start work in your first leadership position, click that link in the top right-hand corner of the video. Go through to my website, passmyinterview.com, and you can instantly download my ready-made editable 30, 60, and 90-day plans for managers and leaders. Here is the next question. How would you deal with conflict in a team? Tip number 1. Now, resolving team conflict in leadership positions is a regular occurrence. Managing and dealing with conflict takes tact, diplomacy, and skill. Tip number 2. In your answer, be sure to mention giving the individuals who the conflict concerns the opportunity to resolve it themselves, and then stepping in to give instructions as to how the conflict should be resolved if the team are unable to resolve it independently. Here is my brilliant example answer. How would you deal with conflict in a team? I would deal with conflict quickly and decisively. If I ignored it or failed to act quickly, it would show my team that I lacked the confidence to lead. So first, I would speak to those involved in the conflict and encourage them to discuss it openly and transparently to reach a solution that benefits the team. Empowering team members to take ownership of conflict reminds them of their responsibility to work productively and harmoniously. If they could not resolve the conflict, I would step in, establish a solution, and direct each team member regarding the action they needed to take to overcome the conflict that prevented them from progressing. That is another really good answer. You can see how by giving these answers in your first ever leadership or management interview will help you pass. So the next thing to do to accelerate your learning even further is click the link right now in the top right-hand corner of the video. Head straight through to my website, passmyinterview.com, and you can download my full set of 21 first-time leadership interview questions and top-scoring answers, including the ones we have worked through together today. This guide comes as an instant PDF downloadable guide. It means you can have it in your inbox literally within 2 minutes from now. Check out that link. Also, please do make sure you hit that subscribe button. I am very passionate about helping people like you, not just pass interviews, but get the highest salary possible and progress throughout your careers. I can only do those things if you are subscribed. Please do hit the like button. It's a small favor to ask, but it really does energize me to create more brilliant content for you. And don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn. I have put my LinkedIn link in the description below the video. It is always an honor and a pleasure to connect with like-minded leaders and managers such as yourself. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting my YouTube channel. I wish you all the very best for passing your first ever leadership interview. Have a wonderful day.